PSA. Be careful how much fabric softener you guys put in your whites, because this happens, and this was one of my favorite sweaters. Even John used to steal it from me, so don't come at me for this. I'm like, it's a really comfy sweater.
Ain't a fan of running, been a fan of what you like. Baby, it's
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Why am I dancing? I feel like this is my thing now. I'm here today because I wanted to do a really quick, fun, simple matte look that can go with every day, could go with glam, that could go with a different lip color. I didn't test out with different lips, but I sure can for next time. But it's a really simple look featuring a lot of Maybelline this time, and you know, here and there of ColourPop, but I had a lot of fun filming this one. It's a super neutral tone. It's something that I've always done in the past and something I'd always directed to if I had no idea what to do. Yeah, if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. All right, I was getting so frustrated trying to figure out what to do with my one today. But here we are. I am going to prime my face first. So I'm gonna just fill in my pores with my usual, which is the e.l.f. Let me just see if you guys are focused right. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. You guys could tell this is one of my favorites. She's almost gone. And I'm just putting that on the T-zone of my area. And then I'm going to use a different primer on the other side. So I'm really just kind of like pressing that in and kind of spreading it on that T-zone just to cover my pores. To you guys, you might not be able to see, but to me, I have little pores, like super tiny ones, that I have to figure out how to like clean properly. I mean, I went to school to become an esthetician, so I should know this stuff, and I do. It's just like I don't have my own personal steamer for my face, which I probably should invest in. It would be actually cool to get one, but I don't not necessarily take care of my face. It's just that it's a lot. And then I'm gonna go in today with the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. This right here, thank you Janessa, she gave this to me. And yeah, this is basically blurs the pores as well, but I'm just gonna be using a little bit of that for the rest of my face as well. I just find that the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer does the job for me, so I just put like a little dab of that. And I'm just putting that all over my face. And sorry if you guys hear John, he's playing games in the back. But I'm just putting that on all the other areas that I didn't really prime. Oh, hello. Now we're gonna get started on our eyebrows, and I'm gonna try doing this fast because sometimes this camera overheats like hella fast. You guys know it's a usual routine, but I did a review on the vlog. Don't know if it's gonna be after this or before this video, but I'm going to be going in with my Luscious Brow Pomade. This is a little pomade, it's a soap brow. It gives that soap brow effect that a lot of women have been doing that I'm absolutely in love with, men or women that are makeup artists. So it's a clear little pomade, and it came with this cute little spoolie that I'm gonna be using, and I'm just applying a nice generous amount of that. And I'm going to clean up my brows with it. So, not clean up, but oh, hello. Just make sure there's nothing on my face. This camera is so HD to the point where you guys can see everything. So in the beginning of my brows, I'm combing upwards, and my brows are in full effect now, you know what I mean? They're long, they're full, which I absolutely love, and it took me a while to grow them out, but you guys saw in one of my last videos that I've been using a serum to help grow these out. And it's really helped my eyebrows. I haven't had nice full eyebrows since I was like grade 8, which was before I started plucking them. But I like the full look. So what I'm doing is I'm combing upwards and then combing out. Perfect. And while those are in place for a little bit, I'm gonna let it sit, and I'm going to clean my eyebrows using the same routine. So it says for the directions of using the pomade to wait about 3 minutes until it's nice and set. So in the meantime, I'm going to clean up my eyebrows with my usual routine, which is any kind of concealer. I like to use the L'Oreal Infallible concealer because it's a much heavier concealer. I feel like it's easy to work with for my eyebrows at least. As for the face, I know a lot of people like this concealer. Found that it was too drying for my lid or for my under eye. That's why I started using it for my brows. And I know that there have been a lot of girls messaging me on Instagram. Yes, I'm back on Instagram. Follow me there, guys. Same Instagram, kaaayso. Asking me to do a brow routine, so I will have a separate video for that eventually. I think that as much as I want to film it now, I just started using the soap brow or the brow pomade, and I want to figure out exactly like the best way to use it, because it's my first time kind of using it. Like this is my, no, not first, this is my third time using it. So I'm just cleaning that up underneath, and we're still waiting for that pomade, but it's super cute. If you guys are interested in this product, I absolutely love it already, and I've only been using it for a couple days, but check out Lumii Lashes, the link will be down below. And you guys can use my discount code. You can try the serum that helped me grow my eyebrows, helped me grow my lashes, and a lot of my friends have been using it as well. She is based out of Vancouver, so you guys know Vancouver's the place. And while we're waiting for that, I'm going to prime my lids with my usual. So this is the ColourPop, I used it in my last video, the ColourPop Cream Shadow in Bronco. And like I said as well, these are fairly similar to the Paint Pots by MAC. Definitely a cheaper alternative. That's what I love about ColourPop, is that they're very affordable. So I'm just using that to prime my lid. And today's look is gonna be, like it says, a nice matte eyeshadow, a neutral matte shadow look. So I'm just applying that on my lid with any kind of a fluffy brush, fluffy dense brush. This one is from, surprisingly, one of those like really cheap makeup things from like Winners or Marshalls or Ross if you're from the States. No, you guys have Winners and Marshalls too. It's called Bella Pierre Cosmetics. I got it as a gift with like makeup, but I don't use the makeup. I don't trust the makeup. I don't trust makeup from Winners, Marshalls, or Ross. That's just me, and don't ask me why. And I'm just gonna set my lid with a powder instead of any kind of eyeshadow. So I'm using my Lancome Dual Finish in Matte Porcelain. Really good lid color, just to tidy it up. If I can find the brush I normally use for it. And setting that. Normally with the light cream shadow, I will set, only because if I'm using a dark color, sometimes it gets so hard to blend on top of a cream shadow, and then I get really frustrated because it doesn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And then from there, I'm going to go in with my brow pencil. So this brow pencil is called Eyebrow Pencil Elliptical Cord. This is actually from a dollar store in Vancouver called Daiso, which is now closed. I believe that Momo, which is a new Asian store, kind of bought it out. But their eyebrow pencils are like amazing. Every time I go to Vancouver, I go there and I buy it. But I believe that they're gone already. So I've had this for a while too, because I bought a couple of them. But it's very similar to the e.l.f. eyebrow pencil. And I'm just gonna do my normal routine and fill my eyebrows out. So very lightly, I don't do much anymore, you guys know that. Just to get a nice shape. And my eyebrows are not even, but... And then I'm going in with that same brow pomade spoolie, and I'm just combing the hairs down. I will do a more, like I said, a more in-depth tutorial on how I do my brows, but to be honest, what you see is exactly how I do it. And then we clean a little more. Ooh, see what I mean? I'm still trying to figure out how to work with the product itself, like the brow pomade, just because I'm not used to it, that is for sure. I wanted to work with natural lighting again. And I was going to work with a white backdrop, but from my last video, I had to delete it because the lighting is not as evident, or the lighting is too evident. Like the change of the lighting is too evident with a white background, so. But basically, that's it. And this brow is looking a little too thick, so what I like to do is I do go in with that brush. And I used to do this a lot, where I just like clean the top of the brow. If I do it on one side, I gotta do it on the other. So today, I guess that's what we're doing with my brows. I work pretty fast with my eyebrows, so just take that brush, any kind of fluffy brush, blending brush, to kind of just wipe down that concealer. Yeah, I just gotta figure out a way how to really use the pomade properly. For girls with laminated brows, it's definitely easier because your brows are laminated already. Like they're going in one direction and they're staying in one direction. One direction. Now we're gonna get started on the eyes. So we're going in with my trusty Nude Mood. You guys can tell she's been used and abused, but it's because it's my favorite palette. I had the Going Coconuts palette, which is another perfect warm tone neutral palette, but I gave it to my sister because she doesn't wear eyeshadow, but when she does, it's always just neutral tone, so I was nice. Yeah, the Nude Mood, you could tell she's been abused, but she's one of my favorites. I use it all the time when I'm trying to look for the perfect transition shade and whatnot, so. All right, I'm gonna go in with my M505 brush, and with the color Au Naturale that's right over here, we're gonna dip that brush in there, and I'm gonna focus this just on my crease, and I guess I will zoom this in for you guys in the video. But when I say crease, it's the bone where your eye socket is. So I'm using that shade, and I'm going back and forth from the beginning of the eye to the end of the eye, and once I hit the end, I flick out. I like to do this technique. I've seen a lot of people do it lately, and I feel like it just gives the eye look, I don't know, it just makes the eye look elongated, I guess. Doing that on the other side as well. Overheat on me. But you guys can see we're just focusing that on the crease area on both eyes and then dragging out. Normally with like a neutral toned eye look, I kind of keep it just like this. You guys know that if you watch my everyday makeup routine or my go-to makeup routine, I found that for myself, like my all-time favorite makeup look is when it looks like I'm not wearing anything. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with, this is the E23 brush by ColourPop, and I'm gonna start building that shade. So I'm gonna go in with Bare to Wear. This one is a way more warmer tone than the Au Naturale. They're fairly similar when you put it on, but you'll be able to tell how orange it is. So I'm going in with that. And these are all matte shades if you guys have the palette yourself. And what I do is I go at the end of the eye, drag it out, and then bring it in. And I just focus this, because this brush is very thin, I'm focusing that just on the crease in between the lid, kind of, and the crease area. And I'm just going back and forth, mainly focusing the color on the outer corner because I kind of just wanted to do like one of those smoky, not smoky, but, and then I do the same thing. So I create the line there and then I bring it inwards. And I only basically apply the product just on the outer corner, and I'm bringing it in. You guys know me, I like a good blend and I like a good diffused eyeshadow. Continue to do that. I just go back and forth if I find that one eye had too much product. And with a light hand, that's the only reason why I'm putting it in the crease is because I'm using it very lightly and there's also no more opaque product left on the brush. So we're really just like diffusing everything. And this can also, it's fine if you get this color in the crease because it's, realistically, it's a crease color, I would say personally. Now I'm gonna go in with the brush I got from Walmart. You guys know this one. And I'm gonna go in with the shade The Cocoa. Oh, no, that's not it. Moody, my bad. Moody, which is the dark brown. Dipping my brush a little bit. And the same thing, I'm going to be doing the same technique that I did with the previous colors. So just on the outer corner, kind of leaving this area open. I find that leaving this area open and then just putting on mascara or lashes, it doesn't matter. It makes your lashes appear fuller. So I'm just mainly focusing that on the outer corner and bringing it about a third way in. Not bringing it in completely the way we did the other color. Just like that. And the same thing on this side. I just find that this makeup look is like the most simplest look that you can possibly do with a nice matte, and it's neutral. It goes for anyone. Personally, I am a warm tone kind of person. I'm going in with a previous shadow brush with nothing on it and I'm just diffusing that. I am more of a warm tone shade kind of girl, so anything with like oranges and browns. I'm not a taupey person. I can't do taupe. I'm still trying to work on it with myself, like how to play around with more of the cool tones, because I have so many palettes that are cool tone and I'm like, I want to use it, but it's not the time. Now I'm just really blending that out and diffusing that. In circular motions, I take that brown color and then I start to drag it inwards. That's the only time we're using it, but this is with no product on the brush. Perfect. Now, I'm actually gonna go darker, but because I don't have a shadow that's as dark in this palette, I'm gonna go in with my Bobbi Brown. This is my personal made palette that I made a long time ago, and I have a lot of really good dark brown shadows. So I'm gonna go in with the darkest one right here, and I'm gonna dip the brush that we used for that dark brown in the previous palette. This is like a dark chocolate. I think it's called rich chocolate, actually, the color. Rich brown. I'm just tapping that really lightly because Bobbi Brown eyeshadows are so opaque and sometimes very difficult to blend. Sometimes it pisses me off. And I'm just tapping that literally on the outer corner, just like that. I'm not going in a V form the way I did with Moody from ColourPop. I'm just literally tapping that shade. But it's gonna create a nice kind of gradient look. Once we have all the product on, now I'm gonna take the brush and really just like push it into that corner. And we keep going in with the same brushes that we're using throughout this entire look because they're all the same tones. Same brush in the beginning, which is the E23, and now I'm really just diffusing that shade. And I don't diffuse this color going inwards. I mainly just leave this on the outer corner and that's it. Also, let me just say, like, these are techniques that I personally feel work for me and work for people that I do makeup on. I don't want anyone to be like, Krystina, that's weird. Okay, so that's your technique. It doesn't work for me. I'm like, well, it doesn't work for you, but it works for me. And there's a crap ton of makeup videos all over the internet that you guys can look at. So I'm gonna go in with the E25 brush and I'm going in with the color Bluffin, and we're gonna put that on the lid. I'm just adding this to the lid, and I love this because it's, oh man, ColourPop's cream shadows are so OP. And I just focused that on about from the inner corner to about 2/3. Going back with the previous brush and just making sure we diffuse that shade a little bit. Now, normally I do like to keep going deeper and deeper, so I actually will. I'm gonna go in with the brush from Morphe, which is the M169. It's a really nice little dome brush. And I'm gonna go in darker with Black Chocolate by Bobbi Brown because I want that gradient look of like dark to brown and then to like warm brown. You know what I mean? We're gonna just use that just on the ends. This will also make the eye look appear more kind of elongated and like fox eye without the eyeliner. And I cannot talk, slowly blending that shade. And that's it for the eye look. So now I'm gonna apply some mascara, apply some lashes, and I'll be right back. All right, we put on mascara, but we're letting the lashes dry for now. So I'm gonna get started on the face, and I'm gonna go in with my usual foundation, my Matte and Poreless by Maybelline. You guys know this is my all-time favorite. I'm in the color 310. I know it looks a little dark on me, but once everything's kind of settled, well, actually, no, this is a little dark. Golden beige or sun beige is my summer color, but I'm still using it. It looks dark and sometimes it ends up a little too dark on me, but it still works. It still looks good in flash photography, so it matters to me. And I like to drag the product down onto my neck anyways, so I'm putting that on. I just usually apply with my finger, sometimes a foundation brush, sometimes not. I just find it easier to apply with my finger. And I'm going in with my beauty blender. I've had a couple people actually saying that they ended up buying this beauty blender because of me and watching my videos, and I'm like, yay, love that, because this is so amazing. Like, it's cheap, it's affordable. I just apply that foundation on all over my face-ish, except for my forehead as usual. And we're just blending that out. I like to put it on my ear and then really drag it down. A lot of people, they do, that I notice, a lot of my friends, they do put foundation on their neck, but they forget to blend in between the line here. And I'm like, yo, make sure you guys are blending it down all the way. Every crease, every corner. To be frank, I would rather use a lighter color. Normally I'm 220. I think 220 or 230, whatever is the warmer shade. I think they're both warm shades. But normally I use one of those because the cream bronzer I use is always darker. I'm going to apply my concealer. Today I'm going to use two different concealers, and I think I might have done this in one of my videos that I filmed. But I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. Is that what it's called? Actually, Complete Concealer. Soft Matte. Okay, this is also not my shade, but she works anyways. And I'm going to go in with the brush that I used to blend my eyebrow concealer with. And I'm going to apply this mainly because I really want a bright inner corner, mainly on these areas here. And don't worry, we're going in with a different concealer on top. I find that the most tired area on my face is this area right here. Not even like this part of my eye. And a little goes a long way with this concealer, you guys. And with a more dense brush, I'm using the F88 brush, the flat angled kabuki brush by Sigma. And I'm just going to really like press that into the skin. I like to use a brush for heavier concealers like this because if you guys notice with heavier concealers, they do appear more fuller in coverage. So if I use my beauty blender and I go in with it, the thing with a beauty blender is that it picks up extra product, which I actually don't want because I want the full coverage. And before we continue, I'm going to apply my lashes, and I want to do that off camera because I don't want to do it on camera. These are the Kiss number 11 lashes. I haven't used these in a long time, and these used to be like my all-time favorite. Everyone knows who's been watching my videos for a long time. You guys know, like, or follow me on Instagram. These are the ones. These are my all-time favorite drugstore lashes. These look good without eyeshadow. They look good with eyeshadow, and they're very, I would say, for the beginners, that, you know, people that don't really wear eyelashes, these are the perfect ones for you to try. So definitely recommend that. I'll put it in the link below, or I'll put it in the description box. I'm gonna go in with my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the color Light. This used to be my favorite. Actually, it's still one of my favorites for sure from the drugstore. And you guys could see it's way more yellow than the NARS one, but I find, you know, like, as much as I know that this concealer is a full coverage, the reason why I'm wearing the NARS underneath is because I really want that full coverage effect. And bringing that downwards, and then on my forehead. And I love this concealer because compared to the e.l.f. one that I love, it's very lightweight. Like the e.l.f. one, you could tell it is a very heavy concealer. I would say it's a good hydrating dupe for the Shape Tape. And then on the outer corner, I like to same thing. I like to do the same thing I did in the last video. And I'm gonna let that sit just for a little bit, not too long, because this one is a thinner concealer. This one will dry faster than the hydrating one. While that's setting a little bit, I'll do this after. We'll let it set for a second under the eyes. But I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend that. One technique that I know that will keep the coverage there, you know, obviously not compared to the brush, but it's just using a much lighter hand. If you want your beauty blender to pick up your product, I suggest apply way more pressure. But if you're looking for that full coverage, you want that product to really stay, use a very light hand. I also want to make sure I don't show any emotion because I don't want to crease, because I don't like to set anything until the end. So now I'm gonna go in Maybelline Super Stay Foundation in the color Toffee. I used this in my last video as well, and I'm gonna go in with a foundation brush, and we're going to cream bronze with this. It's the same color as the Maybelline Fit Me sticks, foundation sticks, as the Toffee. And I'm just like, oh, I can feel that pimple. Oh, that hurts. Put it on my chin and put some over here. Oh. Now I'm gonna take this dupe from the Real Techniques. It's a duplicate. I got this from Momo as well. This was only $2.50. So in circular motions with a very light hand, blend out that cream bronze. And I love this cream bronzer, or this multi-use foundation stick, because it's so forgiving. Like, it blends so nicely, so easily. It doesn't look blotchy. So I always do circular motions, and for the areas that I find that the bronzer is not blending as well as I would like it to, that's when I start to kind of tap with a little more pressure. But for this technique, I'm using a very light hand. And don't worry if you start to get it in like areas that you don't want, which is like down here. I'm going to bake. See what I mean? It just gives that nice bronzy glow. Bronzy. I'm gonna go in with that same foundation brush that I used to apply it, and whatever is remaining on the brush, go in and contour my nose. Now I'm gonna use this brush, which is similar to the dupe of the Real Techniques that I got from Momo for $2.50. If you guys are from Vancouver, Canada, Winnipeg, whatever, I know that Winnipeg has a Momo now at St. Vital, so you guys can check out the products there. My recommendation, do not use any of that foundation and whatnot from those drugstore or those kind of like Asian stores and stuff. They are not good quality. Maybe like for Halloween makeup or something, but I guarantee you guys it's gonna break you out and it's not fun. And then I just go in with the beauty blender, and with a tougher hand, we're just going to clean up those areas that I feel like might have been overtaken by the bronzer. And that's it. And we're not going to use cream for the cheeks and everything. We're going to go directly into setting. So, well, this is like a Maybelline video today. But I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in Fair Light, and we set everything. So I always start from the inner corner like you guys saw in my last video. And then I've mainly focused that product on the areas that I know are gonna crease really badly, which are right under the eyes. Just really pressing that in. Whatever's remaining on that brush, that's when I tap it on the forehead, maybe set my eyebrows a little bit. And there we go. So those are the only areas I'm going to set the T-zone basically and the smile lines. I'm going to go in with my City Bronzer by Maybelline right here. I guess maybe this is like a Maybelline video. This is in the color 300. It is a little darker than my usual. I am in 200, but 200 hit pan really bad. So now I'm just really lightly just setting that cream bronzer that I applied. And when I say really lightly, like hella lightly, because I don't want my face to look like I spread Nutella all over it. You know? I'm not going to contour. I don't need it. I don't think I need it at least. Fix up the nose. Underneath the chin, definitely, or the lip, to help the lip appear more fuller when we apply lipstick. Okay, and I'm actually gonna go in with the same brush with a blush from Lancome. This is in Nectar Lace, and I love this because it's a blush trio. It has a highlight, it has a bronzer or a contour, and a blush. But the blush in it is so beautiful. This is the color Nectar Lace. I don't know if they even carry this anymore. I've had this for a long time now, but this color is so pretty. And with an eye look like this, the good thing with a very neutral matte eye look like this is that you can play around with your blush or your lipstick. So yeah, I'm not gonna use this brush, I lied. I'm going to go in with a Momo brush really lightly as well, because we don't want a whole blotch of blush. If you guys want to know a good technique to not have your cheeks appear too full, apply your blush on your temples rather than on your apples. If you apply them on your apples, they do appear more fuller. For someone like me, I do have I feel like I have high cheekbones, so applying the blush on my apples makes my face appear more fuller, but I love the way my blush turns out like on camera or when I'm taking selfies or something, when it's applied on my apples. And then we'll go back in, and I like to apply that at the tip of the nose. It just adds a nice color. From there, we're going to set. So I'm going to set with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus 3-in-1 Primer Water. This is a Prep Set Refresh. I've seen a lot of my favorite makeup artists use this, and I'm gonna go far. And I like to apply a setting mist or a hydrating mist or anything like that, anything spray bottle wise, before I put on highlight, because I find that once you apply the highlight on top of a wet face, it appears more opaque and more shiny. While we're waiting, I'm gonna go and finish my bottom lash line. I think I like to do, because if I don't set underneath my eyes, my mascara runs, even with a waterproof. I'll go in with that same powder that I used earlier to set my lids, and I'm going to just apply that right at the bottom. We're not really going in with a shadow. For a look like this, what I like to do, if you did want to cover out, you know, not have anything or have something on the bottom lash line, I would normally go in with the two transition shades. So Au Naturale or Bare to Wear. I said or, either or. And just blend that with a brush on the bottom just to give that nice kind of like smoky look. But I just want to put mascara on today. I'm using the Colossal Maybelline. How does it look?
It looks great.
You're great. You look great. Like you. You look great. I put on the mascara on the bottom now. I have to work fast, otherwise this is gonna die. I'm gonna go in with the Wet n Wild loose highlighting powder in the color Hustle and Glow. I forgot I had this, and I forgot how amazing Wet n Wild's products are. Actually, I never forget that. Wet n Wild has some of the best. But I'm gonna go in with a nice fan brush, apply the product on here, and I have to be light with this because Hustle and Glow, if you don't apply it with a light hand, she looks scary. We're gonna apply that. Ooh, look at that, on the areas that I just want that nice glow. Can you guys see? If you guys are looking, any of my fellow friends, you guys can obviously tell this was I'm a drugstore princess and have been for my entire life, especially during this time in the pandemic when I'm not working. You know, a girl can't afford a $50 highlighter. I'm just saying. And I know I'm not alone on that one. But if you're looking for a really, really, really good drugstore highlighter, this is it. Wet n Wild. There you go. You guys can see. Oh my gosh. I forgot how good this highlighter was. I forgot about it. Woo! Bitch likes to glow. But I'm applying that everywhere. So the cheekbones, the temples, and the forehead or the forehead on top of the brow. And then I'm gonna go in with a different kind of brush to apply, put that on the tip of my nose and then on the bridge. And then one technique that I noticed that I actually really like to do now, especially when I take pictures with a side profile, is I like to apply the highlighter right over here in the nostril area. It's like in different angles, the highlight comes out so much more better. And inner corner, for a matte look, I love a completely highlighted inner corner, so we're gonna be generous and apply that on the inner corner. This is the color Hustle and Glow. Like I said, I'll put all of the products in the description box like I normally do, as well as all of my discount codes. Ta-da! So for the lips, I'm gonna go in with the color Because Duh by Essence. Love this stuff. I go through these like nothing normally. So with a look like this, you could do any kind of lip color because it's so neutral tone. You can go with a red, you could go with a dark brown, you could go with a pink, you could go with a nude. Normally for me, I like to go with a nude, so we're probably gonna go with the nude. I like to overdraw a little bit, and with this lip liner, I like to fill in my lips. Good thing about this lip liner is that it's so affordable. It's like $3. Essence has some really good products for being super, super affordable. And normally I'll stay with that color, but I'm gonna go in with one of the colors from Wet n Wild that I got. And you guys know I love Never Nude. That one is like the best nude I've ever had for a drugstore. But this one is very similar to Velvet Teddy by MAC. This is Bare It All, and I only know this because I searched it up online, like a really good dupe for Velvet Teddy. That used to be my all-time favorite lipstick that I wore for every look. It doesn't matter what it was. So it's something like a nice pinky. It's that original Kylie Jenner lip color. And you could tell she's a little more pink toned. And this lipstick with like an eyeliner, oh, just with eyeliner and mascara, oh, she's nice. And I'll just go back in with that lip liner just to clean that up. But that's basically it. So that brings us to the end of the video, end of the look before this camera dies, because I know it's gonna. I hope you guys like how I did this. It's a super simple look, super matte. Really good every day if you are someone who likes to get dolled up and doesn't want to do it, like overdo it. But I find that this is one thing I kind of direct to very often if I want to have a nice glam look. So thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hate it, love it, like it, whatever. I hope you just enjoyed it. But if you guys try out the look, don't forget to tag me and follow me on Instagram. Tag me in the comments, put a link to it. I would love to see if you guys recreated something like this. But yeah, this was super fun, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.
Anything